Hello friends, I have come again with a new topic. Today I am going to discuss the nature of the uprising of 1857. 1857 revolt, you can say the sepoy mutiny. So what was the nature of it? This question often comes in the history general studies paper as well as the history optional papers. So let's discuss. There are different opinions on the nature of the uprising of 1857. The revolt of 1857 was termed as India's first war of independence by Vinayak Damodar Savarkar. However, it cannot be termed as purely nationalist, especially in the modern sense of the word. So, if we talk about the nature of the 1857 revolt, so there are many opinions by different figures, individuals. Among them, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar claimed this war as the first war of independence. But if we look at the modern sense, so this revolt cannot be said a nationalist. Okay. So although it is true that the rebels wanted to overthrow the rising power of the colonial rule, all the local leaders professed or nominated their allegiance to the Mughal emperor as the emperor of Hindustan. Yet the main factors behind this rebellion was an aspiration to revert to the a pre-British feudal order. That means this is true that everyone engaged in these battles against the Britishers just to gain their lost power. They wanted to eliminate the Britishers from the soil of India, and they somehow professed or nominated as the leader Bahadur Shah Jafar. Okay, so many sections of the society participated in this revolt with different intentions. You can see this, that definitely many sections of the society, many people took part in this movement, but that intentions were different. They were not fighting with the same intention or the same objective. Their intentions were different. So the dispossessed Nababs and Rajas were waiting for an opportunity to get the throne and the lost control. You can see the Nababs or Rajas were overthrown or eliminated from his post. Some were aspiring to get an opportunity to get the lost throne back. Again, the dispossessed Zamindars, were also burdened with high revenue demand and was eliminated from their post by the colonial ruler. The Jamidars were also eliminated by the Britishers, so they were also waiting for an opportunity to get their position back, the powers back. Thus, for these traditional elites, the revolt was an advantage and opportunity to restore the feudal order, which in native powers owed nominal suzerainty to the Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar, and that's how they made Bahadur Shah Jafar as the nominal head in this revolt particular. And they wanted to get help from Bahadur Shah Jafar, and Bahadur Shah Jafar helped them also. He wrote later to many native states rulers so that they can get army and to fight against the colonial rule. The rural masses were also infuriated with the colonial rule, and due to elimination from land, high revenue burden and British interference in the socio-cultural practices of the natives. Indeed, the threat to religion was one of the main causes for the leader to engage the masses, including the sepoy. So if we talk about the rural masses, so somehow they were also infuriated, angry. Why? Because the colonial rule eliminated them from the land. They put high burden on these poor people. So, and again, in addition to that, the British interfered in the socio-cultural norms, practices of the natives. And again, another reason, the religion was there. Okay, especially as far as the sepoys are concerned. So, some socio-religious cultures hampered by the British. So, first, the Christian missionaries directly attacked Orthodox Brahmins. Behind their rule, there was also another aspect of spreading religion, that if they make everyone Christian, so definitely the Christian domination would be there. So that's why the Christian missionaries were sent to India just to convert Indian people into Christianity. Okay, they wanted to spread Christianity. That's why Christian missionaries were sent. And coming to India, they directly attacked Orthodox Brahmins. Abolition of Sati was enacted in 1929. The Widow Remarriage Act 1856 was enacted. Tax on temples and monks' lands, etc. You can see even the religious lands like temples and monks which were also the subject of taxation under British rule or the colonial rule, which eventually infuriated the Maulanas, the Pujaris, the Brahmanas, or Purohits, everyone. So you can see that every sections of the society were infuriated, were angry with the Britishers' actions, policies. So the British military regulations had become very insensitive to caste and ritual practices of the sepoys. So, sepoys performed their rituals, their social norms, but British again hampered them. British again restricted them not to do that. So the sepoys became angry. Further, the rumor of cow and pig fat grease cartridge of Enfield rifle confirmed their suspect that the company aspired to ruin their belief of faith. Thus, it acted as a fuel in the revolt of 1857. This was the immediate cause of the 1857 revolt. The rumor was spread. Whether it was a rumor or not, we cannot say that. But definitely, there was an old saying that the cartridge were a mixture of cow and pig fat. Cow was holy for Hindus, pig was unholy for the Muslims, and even today also. So that's why they somewhere became very angry with the Britishers, for the introductions of the Enfield rifle. That's how they can, that's why, and that's how the Britishers exploited their character. And it acted as a fuel in the revolt of 1857. That's why it is the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. So the revolt cannot be termed as a nationalist also because apart from central Indian, Bombay, Madras and Bengal presidencies and many parts of the country were remain unaffected. This is true that this revolt was definitely massive, drastic, but as a matter of fact, in many parts of the countries, there was no instances of this movement, of this revolt. For example, the Central India, Bombay, Madras, Bengal presidencies, and many parts of the country remain unaffected. That means there was no battles, particularly in this state. So the middle class intelligentsia, businessmen, and most importantly, princely states remained loyal to the colonial rule and assisted them to suppress this revolt. Just imagine. On the other hand, a few sections of the society were fighting against the British. On the other hand, a large number of people, assisting British to suppress this revolt. And among them, the businessman was there. Middle class intelligentsia was there. Okay, princely states helped the British to suppress these revolts as well. So that's why not everyone supported them. Everyone didn't support this revolt. Only a few. Conclusions. Thus, considering every aspect of this revolt, we can conclude that the nature of the revolt of 1857 was inspired by religious ideals, agrarian unrest, and an aspirations to restore the feudal order, and hence cannot be called as nationalist. So we can conclude this point that these battles were fought on the basis of, the religious line, agrarian unrest. Okay, and somewhere they also, aspired to restore the feudal order, which was prevalent before the arrival of the British or the colonial rule. So it can never be said as nationalist. So we cannot conclude the actual nature of 1857 revolt. So that's how I end this topic, and thank you so much. I'll bring more content on this topic.